Hi, welcome to another breathing session. We're continuing on from the previous breathing session where we did a study in breath retention. We focused on holding full and holding empty. We isolated those two areas to get a better sense of the possible meanings and implications of what we're doing and feeling. Now there's so much more, and so that's why we're doing another one. Sit up straight, close your eyes, through the mouth, have a big breath in and a deep sigh. Sit with the resting breath in a relaxed way. Just check that you're calm, in the right mood to use your mind effectively to concentrate, to learn in this session. Feeling the rhythm of your resting breath. Relaxing into and around the breath. Becoming calm, settled, steady. Okay, so now I want you to start doing slow, deep breathing through the nose. Slow and gentle all the way up towards full. Slow and steady all the way down towards empty, trying to get further down to the bottom of the breath without pushing. No extreme approach today. Immediately noticing resistance from the body, the tensions that wrap around the breath and restrict it. Not pushing hard against those boundaries, but by going up and down repeatedly in a soft and smooth way, we are massaging these tight muscles, allowing them to soften and relax and to start to give and create space for more open, easy breathing. And this might take 5 to 10 rounds. Okay, so keep going with this slow, deep breathing. I'm going to start to guide you to different focal points. We're going to retain the breath again like we did in the previous session. But something we haven't done for a while that we did do earlier in this breathing series was holding the breath in the middle at half full and half empty. So that's what I want you to start doing now. You're doing slow deep breathing all the way to full and all the way to empty, nice and smooth and slow. But we're going to add breath retention in the middle of the breath. So when you go to half full, hold for about 3 to 4 counts and then continue up to full. Straight away coming back down. When you get to half empty, also hold for 3 to 4 counts before you then go all the way down to empty and then straight away coming back up. So we're not holding the top nor the bottom, we're holding in the middle of the breath. Start getting a sense of a new type of rhythm. When you do pause in the middle, and that's really what the breath retention is, it's a pause or an interruption in flow. Make sure that you sit in a relaxed way with that, sitting comfortably with that pause before you then continue. Really try to smooth out the changeovers at the top and the bottom, almost as though there is no pause at all, even though of course there is a micro pause when you change from breathing in to breathing out and from breathing out to breathing in. Try to make it like you're looping at the top and bottom, continuing the flow. When you're pausing in the middle, retaining the breath, make sure that you're very relaxed. It's as though you have become restful. You've stopped making an effort with the breathing. You've just stopped. If at any point you're starting to get breathless or stressed, then relax the practice, have a sigh, take a short rest, and then just come back in when you feel settled again. It's no use doing this once you're losing the breath, once you're becoming out of breath. In that case, you've stopped being relaxed. which is not what we're trying to do here. So keep going. But now see perhaps if you can hold for longer in the middle, 5 or 6 counts, both at half full and half empty. Ideally, make them both equal durations. Keep smoothing out every part of this breathing. Maybe you can see now that the longer you can hold and sit comfortably with the still breath, more insight and understanding will come once you move back to flow. Keep going with this practice if you can. So now we want to look at a very important, subtle aspect. 4 quadrants of the breath. We distinguish this really well when we interrupt the breath in the middle. So, you have 2 quadrants on the inhalation side. You're starting at the bottom and you come up to half full. There's the first quadrant. And then coming up all the way to full is the second quadrant. Coming back down to half empty is the third quadrant. And coming all the way down to empty, the fourth quadrant. Try to get a sense of that now. We're still only holding in the middle. And for an extended duration if you're feeling comfortable. Now, more subtle information. When you sit at half full, in the middle, you can relax there. Your body should feel quite relaxed. But then, when you initiate breathing in again to get to full, it's going to require effort. But when you do get to full, you can just relax and let the air fall back down to half empty. Then, after sitting at half empty, it's going to require effort again to get all the way down to empty. But then you can relax again, and the body will quite easily start breathing in back towards the middle. So as we're looking at these 4 quadrants, that's what I want you to notice. The restfulness in the middle, and then the effort after you've rested in the middle, either breathing in towards the top and then relaxing back down, and then the effort to get all the way down to the bottom and then relaxing, coming back to middle. See if that makes sense for you. Remember that the more slowly you breathe will give you more sense of what I'm talking about. When you breathe very slowly, you have more time to notice detail. So it's really important here to distinguish the effort required and then the effortlessness. When you go from half full to go up to empty, you're meeting with the resistance of the muscles that wrap around the lungs. And they're quite happy to let you drop back down towards the middle. But when you try to get all the way down to empty, you're meeting with the resistance from the tight stomach and abdominal muscles. And they are quite happy to be released again once you start breathing in again back towards the middle. So it's all about the pressures at the top and the bottom, pushing up into them and pushing down into them, and then the release of those pressures as you come back to middle. Just try this for about 1 more minute. Last round. When you do finish, shift to breathing through the mouth, have a deep sigh. And take rest. Check your energy levels now. Was that tiring? We wouldn't need to be surprised if that was tiring. In a way, we really were working the breath. And really what it is a deep internal massage of very crucial areas, the muscles relating to your breath. Remember that psychologically all our tensions, when the mind is tightening, the body is tightening around the breath. And we've been doing this habitually every day for years. So when we start changing that and massaging, opening that back up again, creating space and internal freedom, it's tiring because of the emotional fatigue of being stressed and anxious as a human being. That's what we're working with here. Have a really good sigh. If you're ready to go back in again, you can always pause the session, lie down and take a break. Alright, so we did that little study in retaining the breath in the middle. Now we're going to go back to holding full and empty. Something we didn't do in the previous session was put the two together, holding at full for a while and holding empty for a while. So, what we want to do is slowly breathing through the nose, as usual, done skillfully in a relaxed way. But we're going to sit in a restful way at the top for 6 to 8 counts. And then we get down to the bottom of the breath. We're also going to sit for 6 to 8 counts. If you can, if that is suitable for you. If that's too much, maybe try 4 or 5 counts. Okay? So, good posture. Start with a sigh. Exhale all the way down to the bottom, and then through the nose now. Take your time to get to full, but when you hold full, hold for an extended period. When you get back down to empty, try to hold for that same duration. Let's do some rounds of this now. Couple tips here. If you know Ujjayi breath, hopefully you've been using that all the time with the slow deep breathing. That will give you so much more time. And when you're holding either at full or empty, you must be relaxed. You can use the hand to close over the nose, but you don't have to. The emphasis still is on being smooth, effortless, relaxed the whole time. As you're inhaling up towards full, you're noticing the pressures and the resistance and not pushing too far. And when you sit with full, you relax around that pressure. When you exhale, getting all the way down low, right down low into the lower abdominals if possible, feeling your stomach and abdominals drawing inwards, improving your posture. Try not to tighten too much in the stomach area. Try to relax those muscles. Release them. when you release the breath, either at the top or the bottom, if you make a sound or if you feel like the breath grabs, that means you're holding the breath too tightly when you're sitting with it still, either at the top or the bottom. So really focus on smoothing out all parts of this technique. Keep going with this practice. If you're feeling comfortable, let's raise the bar slightly. See if you can hold at both full and empty for up to 10 counts, or 10 seconds thereabouts. But it must be even, both at the top and the bottom. So really it becomes relative to your weakest side. That's how you balance the breath. Remember that the longer we can sit still, the more time we have to get a sense of the subtle feelings that we're looking to learn about. And we're affecting the body and the brain much more deeply. But paramount here is that when you sit still, either at the top or the bottom, you have a feeling of complete restfulness. You're taking a break before you start moving the breath again. Really focus on that idea. Last round. When you finish, breathing through the mouth, have a sigh, and just rest, settle yourself. feeling the restfulness and ease after effort. Just applying your mind is already an effort, an application of concentration and intention. And we're doing very subtle things with the breath, but they're still very deliberate and require effort and attention. So when you rest, it's not just physical, it's mental rest too. And you want to feel the space open up around your mind. Have a really good sigh. Open your eyes. How are you feeling now? Alright, now we're going to do one more technique. We're going to put them all together. Holding full, holding empty, holding half full, and half empty. So maybe 4 is a good number. 4 or 5 counts, or 4 or 5 seconds. So we've got slow deep breathing, coming up to half full and holding still for 4 to 5 seconds, if that suits you. Coming all the way up to full, holding still there for 4 to 5 counts. Coming back down to half empty, holding still for 4 to 5 counts, and then coming all the way down to empty, holding still for 4 to 5 counts. That's the routine. Now the big focus here is breathing very slowly in between these pauses, understanding flow, and then really noticing stillness, non-action, non-effort. So when we activate and move the breath, we consider that doing, and then when we hold still, we consider that resting and waiting. last round. When you finish, have a sigh. And then lie down. We're going to have a final guided rest. Grab a blanket. Keep yourself warm. So either sitting back or lying down, taking complete rest now, physical rest as well as mental. When you are settled, have another deep sigh. Feeling yourself, your body on the floor perhaps, warm, comfortable, restful, mostly still, non-active. Be aware of the space you're in. Feel the room wrapping around you. Your mind is relaxed. Around the forehead area, place an extra emphasis of relaxing, softening there. And imagine around the forehead that there's a round window, like a porthole in a ship, and imagine it opening. And imagining a bright white light around your forehead area as though it is coming from your mind, flowing outwards, infinite flowing white. The world fills with white. Around the forehead area in particular, you feel pure, clear, and white. Relax your hands and fingers. Relax your feet and toes. Relax your lower back. Relax around the belly button. Relax around the chest area. Relax the throat. Your body is restful. Your mind is relaxed. A feeling of calmness and quiet. Okay, and then one more time through the mouth. Have a big breath in And a deep sigh. You might want to have some water when you get up. Thank you very much for today. Take care.